Welcome back everybody to Will It Survive, and today we're going to be trying out 3 more vehicles. And yes, because I really rather enjoyed the Gabriel D series focused episode in the last video, I think we're going to try out another focused vehicle episode, and this time it's going to be buses. And the first one is this Wentwood, and it's a race hybrid version because it's extremely quick, and speed usually is a good thing to have on this series. Plus obviously it's quite large and tough. It's also incredibly heavy as well, so it's definitely going to be putting a lot of forces through the chassis, the wheels, the drivetrain, engine and the like. So let's just go flat out and see what happens first off. So nearly 150 miles an hour there. The rear end is diving down. So we're going to be coming down on the engine and the drivetrain at the rear, so it's not going to look good for those parts of this bus, that's for sure. Impact. Radiators leaking. We've lost parts of the bodywork, we've lost some windows. Mechanically speaking, the rest of it seems to be okay. That whether I can survive the rest that's going to come up now. I think the wheels, well, one of the front wheels, or both of the front wheels look a little splayed. I'm going to turn the engine off because it is coming up to the water. Rebounded off 2 walls there, we've broken a front axle. So yeah, the wheels has completely come off. Water is going to slow us down quite heavily, hopefully. Oh dear. We've lost the other wheel now. It's not just deflated, it's completely come off. So yeah, we're not going to have the steering to, get out of here. So yeah, that is a shame. But I guess that's kind of inevitable. You're doing 150 mile an hour in a vehicle of this size with this kind of weight. It's going to be putting a lot of forces through its mechanicals. So I'm going to try and slow it down this time. Too much, because as we have seen before, a slow vehicle can also be difficult to surviving, because you end up hitting this big hump here and bouncing back up and coming harder down than you would have if you'd just gone a bit quicker. This looks a lot smoother to me. We've not even cracked any of the windows. What's it going to do when it comes to this bit? Obviously even now we're in a better condition than we were before, but that is not looking like it's going to be the case once we hit the dirt. More importantly, the swimming pool. I fear we're going to have to go even slower. Cruising over the water, which is not a good sign. And smash. Oh. That looks even worse off than last time. Better landing, but not a successful slowdown. So I think we're going to have to go even slower this time. Maybe try and direct the vehicle off, say the ramp in a different kind of direction, maybe get it on its side, maybe that'll help us slow us down a fair bit. But we're rolling now, but landing on the roof can save us from other damage, because obviously there's no mechanicals up there. But rolling can also have adverse effects, especially when it comes to the wheels. Slide on our side, or even on the roof, one or the other, pick one. Well, the radiator's leaking, but that's no worse than any other damage that we've had. Well, it's taken a lot of damage, but does it still work? Well, we are currently wedged into the wall, so that's not going to help us progress. Come on. I hate it when vehicles get stuck. Come on. worst part about this game is forever going to be the fact that vehicles crash world. But it still works, despite all of the damage that we've caused either by trying to drag it out or via the jump. Oh. God damn it. What the hell happened there? Well, I'm going to give it a the seal of approval because that was technically me doing that damage by somehow going over the lip of the edge of the sand part there. But it survived pretty much intact when it came down the ramp and obviously when it landed on its roof, so that's fine. But yeah, for whatever reason the engine is extremely fragile when it's been, unsurprisingly, thrown down a ramp. So yeah, that is a bit of a shame. Right, let's go for the Dansworth C1500. We'll go for the performance tuned version. So this has its engine up front, but it's still rear wheel drive, so it's got a hell of a long drive line on it. So yeah, that can obviously be problematic when dealing with twisted chassis, twisted body work, heavy impacts that are impacting the bottom end of the vehicle. I'm sorry, but this is taking forever to load for some reason. There we go. So yeah, it's a... oh, why is there a chair sticking through the bottom? I'll have to go for a different version then. We'll go for a standard version then. See if that's any better in terms of the quality of the vehicle. I don't remember it doing this. Maybe it's... yeah, for whatever reason it's doing that. Right, let's go for a different vehicle then. I am not allowing it to have that because that could adversely affect its ability to obviously land properly. So we'll go for the tuned version of the Dansworth D2500. So this again, like the Wentworth, has its engine in the rear and is rear wheel drive as well. So yeah, it should hopefully perform better, being a slightly lighter vehicle. I imagine it is, just because obviously it's yeah, a school bus and not a fully fledged, you know, civilian vehicle. It's just for children, so that should be alright. Who knows? These mods can perform radically different to the standard vehicles that are put on the game. All depends how it's been made to start with, to be honest. You know, over rev risk, so they kill the engine. Oh dear, we've accidentally come off on an angle, which is not going to be helpful. Just hope those wheels are strong enough to survive this. Not looking likely, to be honest. They are. We have lost a couple of tyres at the rear. The wheels are still on the vehicle, which is important, obviously, if we want to drive anywhere. We are now rolling, which is not good, especially when we've got the barriers to work on. The light pole. The light pole has turned nothing to it, but I'm on fire. Yeah, that is not going to be going anywhere because the chassis is just bent to such an extent that I can get it off the light pole. Yeah, even if the chassis was still alright, the engine works, but power to those rear wheels is not going to be consistent enough, unfortunately. Right, so we'll shift it into neutral this time so we don't risk any over rev risk on the engine. Just let it coast down, and then we'll try braking at the end a little bit, see if that helps us survive a little bit better. Obviously not impacting the barrier coming off the ramp is going to help us massively. We'll have more control hopefully by landing on our wheels. Still a lot of bodywork damage, and the wheels have popped front right. A couple of the, well, 3 of the rear ones. It's not going to help us in terms of grip. We're going to slide instead. Hopefully it does mean that we can at least come out of the dirt if we do end up surviving. Have done. We are now on fire, which is not good. That can pop tyres and the like. But it works. Somehow it has survived. The vehicle looks like it's been minced by Godzilla, but it has survived. We do actually still have steering, which is surprising. And we're able to actually accelerate. Obviously we are on fire, so that is going to kill the engine at some point because it's overheating the vehicle and its engine, but it still moves. And yeah, it's certainly gone a lot further than the Wentworth did after its survival of the ramp. Come on, creep towards the stop sign. There we go. Yeah, that's a pass. Even more so than the previous vehicle, but obviously this engine was far more protected than the previous vehicle's engine. But I am surprised that it's still actually working as an engine, because as you can see it is completely twisted. I have no idea where the engine actually is anymore. There it is. So yeah, I am surprised it's still working, because yeah, the driveline is obviously right at the rear as well, so I would have expected it to have been twisted to the point of pulling the driveline out, but apparently it's a lot tougher than I expected it to be, and a lot tougher than the previous vehicles as well, because obviously when we landed on the first go it broke the driveline immediately, so yeah, that is really rather good. So yeah, finally we're going to go for the Gabriel CB40. I'm going to go for the RV conversion. It's still a bus technically, but it's the RV conversion, so yeah, still a bus chassis and bus layout in terms of its front engine, rear wheel drive, but it's just got an interior in it for holiday makers. So it's got some solar panels on the top, as well as a platform there as well. I'm going to switch this into neutral because this is not going to survive in terms of its revs with its engine, just like the previous vehicle. Not going all that fast though, as you can see, 122-ish miles an hour before we came down. This vehicle also has a lot of parts to it, so I imagine we're going to see them come flying off. Oh dear. Well, not just parts flying off, but the entire chassis has flown off. Kill the engine because we're going to impact the water by the looks of things. But yeah, we have lost the entire bodywork. Now, obviously, if the rest of the vehicle survives, then it should still be able to drive off. So let's pick it up and find out, get it out of this water. Because, yeah, it's still got rear wheels, it's still got its drive line, it's still got a front wheel if it works. Start the engine back up. The fuel tank seems to be wedged under the chassis. So put that there. Do you still work? Get it into drive. No. The tyres are still spinning, but for whatever reason, yeah, it's still sticking up in the air too much. And when you do that, nope. It's just not able to put its power down because the chassis has slightly bent to the point where not all four wheels are on the ground. So, and because it doesn't have a diff that allows it. Well, wait a sec, does this help? Yes, it does. We have the steering. I fear that front wheel is not well attached. No, it's not. It's really not well attached at all. In fact, I don't think it's working at all, to be honest. It's there, physically, but obviously if there's no connection between the steering wheel and the wheel, it's not really a wheel at all. It's not going to steer. Yeah, that's not working. That's a shame, because so much of this vehicle has obviously been decimated. I mean, we've lost the entire bodywork, which in all honesty is fairly intact. The insides have been completely mangled, but yeah, the overall shape of it is okay. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame there that the chassis was not able to, you know, still move properly. Obviously, the engine and the drivetrain was fine, but because we didn't have the steering, we could not get out of the area that we crash landed into. So yeah, let's see if we can give it some braking off the ramp before we hit off the ramp, and see if that helps. Obviously, we don't want to go too slowly, or we'll hit the hump like that. So that is not good. So obviously, then it means that we come crashing down a second time, which just puts more pressure through the vehicle's mechanics. Lost that front wheel again. It's locked up, and I think it's burst as well. So losing that is no real big issue. It's whether or not the other wheel survives. We've lost the entire chassis again. There it goes into the stands, losing all of its other parts. Oh, we've lost the rear wheels as well. Oh, damn it. And the engine's gone. Well, the same result as last time, except for more mechanical damage. So let's see if we can get a good happy medium between the first attempt and that second attempt. See if we can do any better. I think we'll try and get it on its side. Because even if we take out a front wheel, we'll still have another one to try out with. So yeah, we'll still have some steering, which is obviously better than none at all. Going on our side, no we're not, we're coming back down on those front wheels. But we are going to go on our side eventually, which is good. We're only going to damage the bodywork, hopefully. Oh. Well, the bodywork has come off again. It seems to be attached with zip ties and prayers, but the chassis looks okay. We've lost the front wheel. Nope. The chassis is completely bent again. It also looks like it's digging into the floor, which is not good. So yeah, there we go. 2 wins, well, 1/2 a win, 1 win and 1 failure there. So a bit of a mixed bag of an episode there. But yeah, this vehicle in particular is really fun to crash because of just how many parts there are to fall apart. I mean, who would ever tire of losing your entire bodywork off the chassis? Because I certainly wouldn't, and yeah, it does make for some spectacular crashes. But yeah, there we go. Buses might well be tough to deal with, you know, everyday, you know, life in terms of being used on a daily basis, hour after hour after hour. But when it comes to crashing, they are no way near as consistent as you might think. Especially since, you know, obviously all of that weight is going through the mechanicals, and they really aren't meant for jumping as you would expect. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.